What is going on today, guys? AU here, and today we are bringing you week 3 of our GBF season 1, and I am the coach of your Atlanta Braviaries, and I'm pretty excited to go ahead and get this week started off. 1, because I love my draft in this draft league. 2, because I can finally give some more attention to this draft league because NSL is on a break, and this is really the only draft league that I'm actually gonna really try to at least make playoffs. Like I said, we are still learning in this draft league, and if we win the draft league, we win the draft league. Kind of just like what I did with NSL last season. I do feel like we are going to do pretty well in this season. We did get kind of upset last week. I felt like we should have won that game. I was just playing really dumb. So definitely check out last week if you want to. Another thing, you're getting this video early. You're gonna get this video on Wednesday because I'm recording it today on Tuesday, and I have more finals to take. After today, all my finals will be over. But yeah, so I have finals today. This is the only video I'm going to be able to record. So this video is actually going to go up on Wednesday. You didn't have a video yesterday or the day before that. So definitely you will have videos coming up for the rest of the week. I also had a video up on Sunday of another draft league ISL power ranking. So if you are interested in joining draft leagues, definitely check out that video. It should help you to know kind of how to draft, what to draft, and what you should be covering and everything like that. But I do want to start out by saying that if you are new here, subscribe and click the like button because that's going to help me out a lot. And also, if you just want to skip the team builder, I'm going to have timestamps in the description below, so definitely check that out if you want to just go ahead and watch the battle. And then another thing, you probably can hear there's a lot of changes that have been going on. You can probably hear my sound is a lot better. This actually isn't the first video I've done it on. Like I said, I did it on the ISL power rankings, but I got a new microphone that is sitting beside me right here, so you should no longer hear all that background noise that you would have used to heard in my videos. So hopefully overall the sound quality is better. Also, I have an updated Pokemon Showdown that you will see later on in the battle that looks really cool. So hopefully that's better to watch. I mean, overall, I'm just trying to make the quality of my recordings better. But without further ado, we are going to jump right into this matchup because it is a tough one. They have double ground. They have Zygarde and Landorus Eye, and Landorus Eye hits like a truck. Luckily, they can't run Sheer Force. So that is good, but their double ground kind of keeps my Dobby right here from sweeping through his team, which is smart because Tapu Lele, if it's Scarf and we get a Dragon Dance up, we're still going to be faster. We're going to Oko with something like Fire Punch, Mega Scizor, Fire Punch, Darmanitan, we have Earthquake, Vaporeon is a 2-hit KO with Dragon Claw, and that's if they're max defense. We are also going to be a Dragon typing, so we don't actually even have to worry about we don't have to worry about being weak to water type moves. We are neutral. Lycanroc Dust can probably Oko us with like a Banded Accelerock, but we have answers to Lycanroc. Leafeon's going to go down, Raichu's going to go down, Furret's going to go down, and Meowstic is going to go down. Like, Zygarde can put some major holes in his team. It's just he has a couple like Lycanroc, Landorus, Zygarde that are going to stop that from sweeping. Now if we have a Dragon Dance up, we can actually just Dragon Claw the Zygarde. Hopefully we can Dragon Claw the Zygarde and take it out. We'll probably need some chip on it first, but we have plenty of ways to get that chip that we need. And in our spread, we are outspeeding. What are we outspeeding? The Landorus. Nope, not the Landorus. I think it's the Zygarde or Darmanitan. Something. We're outspeeding, I think, Darmanitan. So that means if we get the +1 up, we'll outspeed anything that's Darmanitan or slower on his team. And at the number 2 spot here in our team builder, we have got our Envy, our Grimmsnarl. We are running Screen's Grimmsnarl this week because his team is super hyper offensive, and Screens just slows it down enough to where I can actually put in some work behind it with Shaman or Dobby or even like Toothless. So like I said, we're running double screens. We're running Thunder Wave in case I need to get like a Thunder Wave off on the Scizor, or I can get a Thunder Wave off on the Lycanroc, I can get a Thunder Wave off on the Darmanitan. Overall, Thunder Wave can actually do a good bit of work to his team. If he has Psychic Terrain up, that's actually better for us because then he can't Bullet Punch and he can't Accelerock with his own Pokemon. So that's going to be some interesting interactions to see how that goes. And then we have Spirit Break just as our last move to actually deal out some damage. It covers, it'll lower the Tapu Lele special attack it'll hit the Zygarde pretty hard. It hits the Landorus pretty hard, and Landorus actually, I didn't even know this till yesterday, Landorus also is a special attacker, so lowering his special attack isn't even bad. But yeah, we're running max HP, max defense, because this is kind of like a Zygarde check. I can come in on Zygarde and get the screens up and kind of just Spirit Break away. He might try to sub D dance. I mocked with 2 people, and both of them brought sub D dance, so apparently that is a pretty common set, which this thing is going to be able to deal with the Reflect and the Spirit Break. Next is a Pokemon we haven't brought yet, and it's a Pokemon I had a ton of fun with in mock battles, and that is Shaman, our Reggie Bush here. Shout out to Primal and KJ for the nickname. But we have Choice Scarf Shaman here with Seed Flare, Energy Ball, Earth Power, Air Slash. This thing has great coverage. Seed Flare does a ton of damage to his whole team. We can chip away and chip away and chip away, and especially behind screens, he can't KO this thing without Darmanitan. And if I read a Darmanitan switch in, Earth Power is going to OHKO it. And if we have Rocks up, I think Seed Flare even 2-hit KOs that. I don't know if I want to take that risk, because Seed Flare is only like 85% accurate. Yeah, it's only 85% accurate, so I don't know if I want to take that risk, but maybe we will if we're behind screens. We are outspeeding a Darmanitan with the same EVs that we're outspeeding the Charizard with, so we're hitting 319, which means if he scarfed Darmanitan, we're still faster, which is good to know. So, like I said, if we can get that chip on Darmanitan, then Shaman kind of just runs through the rest of his team. And we even have Air Slash for the Leafeon, because I didn't even practice against Furret, Raichu, or Leafeon, just because I don't think that they're good brings. But if he does bring them, we have Air Slash for the Leafeon, so the Leafeon cannot wall us. Next is our Empoleon with Shuka-Berry, our Charles here. We have Ice Beam, Defog, Scald, and Stealth Rock. So Charles is kind of I don't know how I want to say it. It's kind of interesting set because I have Defog and Stealth Rocks, but I kind of need Defog on something, because without Defog, he can get rocks up with the Landorus, and Charizard's taking 50% automatically when it comes in, and that is not something I want. So yeah, Empoleon needed Defog, but it also needed Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks actually can put a big hole in his team, along with Sticky Webs from Aragog. So Stealth Rock is definitely a need to bring, but obviously I'm not going to set up the Stealth Rocks if I know I'm going to have to Defog later. So we have Ice Beam and Scald. Ice Beam because it hits Zygarde and Landorus pretty hard. It's going to hit the Leafeon, if he wants to switch in Leafeon towards my team. It's going to hit, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have the Scald because I can burn the Zygarde, burn Scizor, burn Darmanitan, or even kill Darmanitan, kill Lycanroc, burn Leafeon, burn Landorus. You know, just like if I can get a burn on any of those Pokemon, that's great. And it's also going to chip away a lot of damage. Both games, almost every game I played, their lead was Darmanitan, and I always lead Empoleon because Empoleon covers the Darmanitan lead, it covers the Lycanroc lead, it covers the Landorus lead. So overall, Empoleon is just a really good lead for me. So that's probably what I'm going to be leading. And then in our 5th slot here is Toothless. Toothless has been pretty surprising to me throughout this season already. It's super bulky, and I like Gliscor. Gliscor is probably one of my favorite Pokemon, but we have Earthquake, Roost, Ice Fang, U-Turn. We are kind of offensive, but still defensive. Our EVs are defensive, but our moveset is offensive. Like you can see, no Stealth Rocks and no Defog on our Gliscor. I kind of wanted it as a pivot to chip away with Ice Fang, chip away with Earthquake. It can switch in on the Excel Rock, it can switch in on Zygarde, it can switch in on Landorus. So we have the movesets to cover all those, and if I switch in, then obviously they're probably going to U-turn out into like Vaporeon or something if they can, so at that point I'll just U-turn and get some more momentum. We also have Roost just to prolong our stay with Gliscor, and obviously the Toxic Orb Poison Heal is really, really good. And then lastly, we have our Aragog here. We're actually running Focus Sash. I could use this as a lead if I wanted to, but if he brings Scizor, I'm probably not going to, because he could just defog the webs away. If he doesn't bring Scizor, I might just lead Galvantula as a suicide lead and Sticky Webs and call it a day, because Sticky Webs cripples his team so much that it's just really, really useful. Now, he could also be running Defog on Landorus, but I don't know. I think Landorus I probably gets it, but yeah, he could definitely be running it on Landorus, but both Landorus I saw were not running it, and usually won't worry about it because Landorus isn't even affected by the Sticky Webs, but overall his team really, really is hurt by Sticky Webs. And then we have Compound Ice Thunder, Volt Switch for pivoting, but that's kind of hard to do because he does have the 2 ground types. And then Bug Buzz to hit like Lele, to hit Leafeon, and to hit Raichu. So Garvantula actually can put some holes in the team. You can even chip away about 40% at the Zygarde and the Landorus, so that's really good. And then we are faster than everything on his team and max special attack, and then I just put the rest into the defenses. So overall, I think that our matchup this week is really good. Like I said, I was kind of upset last week, but I was just not playing well. My goal for this season is just to play well, play how I know I can play. This team fits my playstyle. This draft I have is completely broken. So I just need to play well, and I know I can do it. I need to not get so nervous going into the matches, because I was joking around with one of my friends and I told him my biggest weakness is probably just being caught off guard. Like, if you can catch me off guard with something I didn't even expect, you might take the game because of that. But I'm working on it. We're practicing, and we're gonna get better at this draft league, because I'm really enjoying draft league. Draft league is kind of giving me that thrill that VGC was, and VGC probably will again in June. So draft league and VGC is going to be the two things that I am focusing on. But with that, I'm going to actually message the guy right now, see if he can battle, and we are going to jump into this battle. I'll catch you guys there. Alright guys, we are here in the battle, and he actually did end up bringing the Scizor, and he did end up bringing the Raichu. There is no Zygarde, so that is something that I am okay about. The only thing is, do I think he leads Raichu here? He ran Toxic on his Raichu last week, so if he does lead Raichu, I just go into Toothless, really. So I think I still lead Empoleon here. And that's gonna cover most things. He does lead the Lele, Tapu Lele. So do I think he has Thunderbolt? I would assume he has Thunderbolt. So I think I want to go into my my Aragog here. If he reads a switch into that and he just goes for like Psychic or something, then we'll be taken down to our Sash, and then at that point we'll get to see if he's Scarfed. If he's not Scarfed, we're just gonna set up the Sticky Webs and then let Aragog go down at that point, I think. I didn't expect a Lele lead, honestly. So this is gonna be a little tough to deal with. But we'll see. We'll see what he does here. We'll kind of get an idea of his moveset, an idea if he's Scarf or not. Because if he is Scarf, that means we need a Dragon Dance. If he's not Scarf, we don't necessarily need the Dragon Dance, as long as we can get some chip on it. We'll also see if he has Thunderbolt. He might not even have Thunderbolt. So he is taking a while here. Probably calking, I would guess. I'm not entirely sure. And if if he does Thunderbolt and we can get up Webs, or he might just switch out. But we'll still get up the Webs. And he didn't bring Lycanroc either, which no Lycanroc is a huge bring, I think. So that means Charizard can do a lot more damage. Definitely once the Landorus is gone, Charizard does a lot of damage to the whole team. So he goes Scizor, and we are going into Galvantula here. That is fine with me. I think here I go back into Charles. He did switch out, so I'm not sure why he switched out, but I think he goes Lando here, and I want to go back into Charles. We are Shookaberry, so that's fine. Honestly, I'm just surprised he didn't switch out into like Vaporeon, because I feel like if you switch into anything, it should be the Vaporeon. Looks like he's having some technical things going on. Alright guys, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back in the battle. Same place we left off. Alright, so here, like I said, I think that I am going into Charles here. We'll see what he goes for. He does Mega Evolve. He goes for the knockoff. He knocks off our Shookaberry, which is kind of bad, but not horrible. I can just Scald here. And If we get a burn on the Scizor, that is huge. He could just go into Vaporeon, like I said. Vaporeon always seems like a good switch into Empoleon. But at the same time, Vaporeon doesn't really do anything to Empoleon, so that's a thing. He goes Landorus, okay, so we'll get the Scald off. That does a ton, and we get the burn, so that's huge. That's really huge. Here I just go. I got Toothless? Yeah, I think here I just go Toothless. He goes for the Earthquake, so that's fine. I'm gonna actually U-turn out here. We get our Toxic Orb off, so now if he wants to knock off our Toothless, that's fine with me. So I'm gonna U-turn out here. He should be faster, so if he is gonna attack us, he's gonna attack us. The burn was huge because that actually puts him, I think, in U-turn burn range. So if I U-turn out and he stays in, then he'll just go down to burn, and then he'll have to bring in something. He'll have to bring in something to counter whatever we brought in at that point. Yeah, really surprised. I'm really surprised he's not going into Vaporeon for these reads, but he does go Vaporeon now, which means he has no Darmanitan either. So like, Shaman just goes in. So I think I just go Shaman here, and Seed Flare. A Seed Flare, because if he goes Scizor, I just go right back into Charles, or even into Toothless at this point, because I didn't want him to knock off my Toxic Orb, which was the whole reason I didn't go into Toothless at first. Because with that Toxic Orb gone, Toothless's viability in the game kind of goes down because it has Roost, but you really need that Toxic coverage. So he does Protect here. We go for the Seed Flare. He might be just trying to waste PP. I'm not sure, but I'm going to Seed Flare again to get damage off on whatever's coming in. Scizor could come in, but like I said, if Scizor comes in, then we just go straight back into Charles or into Gliscor. And Raichu also gets knockoff, but like I said, now that the Toxic Orb is proc, we don't have to worry about that knockoff anymore. So Gliscor is definitely a free switch into the Raichu, because I don't think it really gets anything to deal with Gliscor. We are very HP invested in Gliscor, so we should be taking hits from this team relatively well overall, all across the board. Maybe Aragog was probably a good switch here, but at the same time, like I said, if I Volt Switch out and he goes into a Lightning Rod Raichu or a Landorus, then we are kind of in a bad spot. Even though Landorus is should be slower unless he's Scarf, which is definitely a possibility. He could be Scarf. So he does go into the Scizor here. We hit. Do we get a special defense drop? We do not, which means I'm gonna go right back into Charles here. I think he could U-turn out for some momentum right here, and that would be actually pretty good on his part. But like I said, I don't want to stay in. Don't want to stay in with the. Actually, maybe Toothless is the better option, because if he does U-turn out, then we can U-turn out too, and Toothless kind of takes care of most of the things on his side of the field. So we go into Gliscor here. He does U-turn like we thought. We'll get the damage kind of restored with our Toxic Orb. He goes Lele. That is pretty interesting to me. Him going Lele there. So do I still need Charles? Like, what does Charles do for me? Do I need Aragog? I think I'd go into Aragog here and kind of see what he's going for. He does go for the Moonblast, and he crits us, but I don't think that crit mattered. I'm going to Sticky Web. We'll see if he's Scarfed. I would assume that he is. Yeah, the only way he's faster than us is if he's Scarfed. And I really want the Sticky Web up. Sticky Web kind of hurts his team, especially with the Lele. If the Lele is Scarfed, Sticky Web definitely hurts his team. He could just swap out though, which is the thing, but at this point, if he's Scarfed, I don't see why he wouldn't just go ahead and pick up this KO. He might predict a switch, but it's not worth me saving this at this point. So he's not Scarfed. That's great to know. He's not Scarfed. Which means that I kind of want to get up screens here. Is he specs? Because if he specs, you know what, maybe I just go ahead and get the no, I'm a Scald here. Vaporeon is taking 3%, so a Scald isn't a bad option here. He goes into Raichu. Raichu's going to take a lot of damage from the Scald, really, and that tells me that he probably was specs. We get another burn, so that's huge. He was leftovers Raichu. He's kind of a bulkier Raichu like he was last week. I'm going into Toothless here. He goes for the fake out. That was kind of weird because we're a flying type, so that worked in Psychic Terrain, but otherwise it wouldn't have. He probably goes something like, I don't think he stays in here. I'm a U-turn, I think. But yeah, that fake out wouldn't have worked on the Empoleon, so that was kind of a bold play on his part. So he does go into the Vaporeon. I'm a U-turn out here, and I guess I'm going right back into Reggie here. But I think now I'm gonna Energy Ball. I don't want to waste all of my I don't want to waste all my Seed Flares yet. And so he does go back into the Scizor. Alright, like I said, he does go into the Scizor here. I think at this point this is just a free switch into I think this is just a free switch into Dobby. Actually, Empoleon doesn't look bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back into Empoleon. We'll see what he goes for. He does go for the U-turn. Landorus can come in. Yeah, Landorus is gonna come in. But he's got an Earthquake. He's got to Earthquake. I just go back into Toothless, right? We're just gonna play the switch game for a little while. He does defog. That's gonna hurt a little bit. I didn't expect him to have defog Landorus. I definitely thought it was defog Scizor. So we're just gonna U-turn out. He goes for the defog again, expecting what's it called? A Stealth Rocks. I think I go back into Charles, and we can at least try to get Stealth Rocks up. He probably goes Vaporeon here, or even Raichu, since he's not, he is not, what's it called? Sticky Webs isn't up on his side anymore. So, so far we've got rid of Landorus, and that is fantastic to me. The rest of his team is pretty healthy. His Raichu's down pretty low, his Scizor's down pretty low. His Scizor probably has Roost though, so he does go into the Tapu Lele. I think I'm going to try to get up Stealth Rocks here, because that's going to stop the switching game that he's doing. He is switching on a good bit with, he could have like Volt Switch, and he's got U-turn that he's U-turned out a lot, so we can kind of slow that down a little bit if we want to. He could just have Thunderbolt here. The Psychic and the Moonblast are not going to do a lot, but Thunderbolt just pretty much just takes us out. But I think he specs, so if he does have Thunderbolt, then I just go into Charizard, right? And then Dragon Dance maybe? Like maybe that's the time to do that. Because we want Shaman to kind of clean up once the Scizor's gone. Once Scizor's gone, Shaman kind of cleans up. It could be Screens on the Meowstic, but it could also be T-Wave on Meowstic. But if Meowstic comes in, I just go in Grimmsnarl every single time, because he can't Prankster my Grimmsnarl, so it's kind of a free Screens trade, really. And he's not going to be able to Psychic my Grimmsnarl either, so that's definitely a thing. He does go for the Psyshock. We are living that because we are fully max, we're max defense all the way. And at this point, I'm just going to Scald, and I'm going to let Charles go down. And since he is Psyshock, I think I go into the I don't know. Psyshock and Terrain is doing a good bit of damage. I think I need to get the light screen up here. His team is kind of special heavy. He does go into the Scizor, which I really expected. But I can just go back into Toothless here. He's probably going to U-turn, but at this point Toothless can deal with most of the things. He does Iron Head. That Iron Head did a lot of damage. I'm not even gonna try to act like it did not. That definitely did do a lot of damage. That did 34. We are sitting at. Okay, I think we can take 2 more. We should be faster. If he's not, oh yeah, we're definitely faster. So he's either got a bullet punch or something that's taking an EQ here. Vaporeon can probably eat up the EQ. Okay, so Raichu's probably going down. Yep, we get rid of Raichu, and I'm completely okay with that. Psychic Terrain's gone. I would have rather Lele come in that turn, but we are behind screens, so I am going to Earthquake again. We have 5 turns of screens left, and that did 46%, so I'm a Roost here. As long as he didn't crit us there, we are fine. We get the Roost off. And now I'm just gonna Earthquake again, and we should pick up this KO on the Tapu Lele, which is huge. That's huge. Like I said, screens slowed him down a lot, meaning that Toothless could kind of stay in here and deal some damage. He does go into the Vaporeon here. That's fine. How much is Vaporeon taking? Okay. Okay. He might try to Wish here. I think I'm just gonna Earthquake again. He protects. Earthquake again. He can't burn us with like Scald or anything, so that's completely fine. He could have Ice Beam, but he would want to use it this turn. We get a crit. That crit's huge. I'm not even gonna lie, that crit was huge. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. That crit was huge because Vaporeon put a lot of pressure on us. Now we're not behind Light Screen, but we still can go for this Earthquake because this, yeah, it shouldn't KO. So now Toothless is kind of putting in the work. We can Roost on what comes in. He can't Thunder Wave us, one because we're ground type, two because Psychic Terrain is up. But we'll see what he goes for here. He might just be side spamming, but I'm gonna Roost. He goes for the Reflect, so I get the Roost up. That's a good trade to me. I don't really care about that trade. And now I am going to U-turn, I think. Oh, he's slow, so he's a slow Meowstic, and I'm going in the Grimmsnarl here. He goes for the Sidekick. That's completely fine. I'm gonna go for the Reflect. Yeah, he can't Thunder Wave me. One, because I'm a Dark type. Two, because again I'm in Psychic Terrain. And Spirit Break here is gonna. It seems like he doesn't have anything to deal with the Grimmsnarl here, so that's completely fine. I'm just going to keep doing this, and I might even just paralyze him next turn just to do it, since Psychic Terrain isn't up anymore. And if he wants to switch in the, okay, so he's not switching in the Scizor, which is kind of surprising to me. But yeah, he doesn't. I guess he doesn't know that you can't actually prankster Dark types. So we're just gonna sit here and do this for a little while. He might be actually just trying to stall out my screens, which is, it's a good option. But after that, the Charizard just comes in and it cleans up the Scizor. So that's fine with me. And we're gonna get rid of the Meowstic, which means we still have one turn to Reflect here, which means I think we live a Bullet Punch. Which means I'm gonna Thunder Wave here, because at this point, like I said, Charizard just comes in and it takes care of the Scizor. So I'm gonna go into Charizard here, save our differential, and it looks like we will be able to pick up this win as long as this Fire Punch kills the Reflect, which I think it should, and it's going to. Oh, he tried a Bullet Punch, but he got paralyzed, but that wouldn't have mattered. He went KO'd anyways. We are going to win week 3. A pretty good game, honestly. He did misplay the end a lot. Like the Psychic Terrain actually hurts his team more than it helps it, and he didn't bring Darmanitan, he didn't bring, what else didn't he bring? Lycanroc, so he didn't bring Zygarde, which was huge. So I just had to play my switches right. It was kind of a long switching game. His team was very bulky, with the Landorus, the Scizor, the Vaporeon. He had a bulky Raichu. He had screens. The Lele was very offensive, but overall, we played that game super well. Even without the misplays with him at the end, we just go into things like Shaman and we just click Seed Flare or Earth Power, or we let Charizard just take care of the rest of the team. But yeah, that's it. That's week 3. We had a lot of lot of difficulties recording the battle, but overall a good week. We picked up the win. We are now 2-1, and yeah, Charizard is starting to prove itself. I really love this draft, but yeah, with that, that's where I'm going to leave you. So if you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.